Yes, 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 we made it. We are tonight's entertainment, and we do have entertainment for you tonight, both on your mobile screen and on your big screen. We got a great matchup, and as always, the scene got a great show for you tonight, baby. Views from the 22 is proud to be live for the 100th show of the Scene YouTube channel, and there's just no way we were going to do this show without at least one member of the 94 Feet of Life crew. Also happens to be the original member of the We the People contingency, Mr. Travers Milam, since Vic Jr. can never get his last
Milo,
name right.
Milo,
Milam. Yes,
Milo.
right. That's right. Milam. Fellas, we got a great show tonight. We had a great day of football yesterday, although it was a little weird, but we just gonna dive into it. Everybody feeling good? Everybody feeling ready?
We
Doing all
I
right,
don't,
ready.
man.
we're gonna Vic, we're gonna try that again. Is everybody feeling good? Is everybody feeling ready?
I'm ready. I'm not feeling good about a certain outcome that happened last week, brother.
Eh,
I mean, yesterday.
I
That's
understand.
all.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to
That's
that.
all.
And I know what you want to say about it, and I'm gonna allow you to just get it off your chest tonight. But we got a lot to flex tonight. So let's just get rolling. Midnight Views, baby. Obviously, we had to go with the cover photo for Midnight Views last night was Patrick Mahomes with the stunt on these hoes meme because that's all he does is stunt. And there's nothing that's fronting about Patrick Mahomes. Let's just go into the Midnight Views. First game on the docket, we had the Eagles versus the Browns. Browns won that game 22-17. Fellas, the Eagles are bad. Doug Peterson is bad. Carson Wentz is bad. Dare I say, the Browns are good? Yeah, the Browns are good, Chief. They got an identity. Patriots versus Texans, Romeo versus Bill, Deshaun versus Cam, student versus teacher. Student just simply won that game yesterday. Texans win it 27-20. Steelers versus the Jaguars. The only trap you seeing is the trap on my chest. The Steelers avoided back to back to back trap games. I don't remember a team having three trap games in a row and coming out in flying colors the way Pittsburgh did over these last 3 weeks. Titans versus the Ravens. Styles make fights, do they not, Germ? So true. And the Ravens, they just do not match up well versus the Tennessee Titans. And it showed itself as that game got deeper and deeper, especially with that walk-off run by King Henry. Titans win it 30-24. Bengals versus FC Washington. Look, we would love to talk about how FC Washington won this game and how they might be making a push for the NFC East division title, I guess if you want to call it a title. But the real story of that game, unfortunately, moment of silence, baby goat Joey Burrow, he's done for the year. His knee is just not I don't even want to say it. He's done for the year. Hopefully, this isn't a career altering injury, but this is what we always talk about: no beef, no Lombardi, right? Well, it's not just that. Your beef is the most valuable asset. That's your insurance. That's everything to your franchise. And now that you didn't have the beef to protect the most valuable asset of your franchise, and now you got to pay the consequences. Falcons versus Saints. Amen. The Falcons are the most unreliable team in all of professional sports. Okay, these folks couldn't even beat the right-handed Tim Tebow. I don't know what else to tell them. Lions versus Panthers. Did the Lions really get shut out? Is that real? I know I typed it. I know I confirmed it, but it's still not computing in my mind that the Lions actually got shut out. But hey, major credit to Matt Rule, who, despite obstacles, despite injuries, still finds a way to have his team competitive and actually winning football games. Good for them. Jets versus Chargers. Justin Herbert simply just handled his business. Dolphins versus Broncos. I'm not the highest on Drew Lock, but I'm not going to deny the fact that he makes a significant difference for that football team. Broncos win it 20-13 and end the Dolphins' winning streak. Packers versus Colts, fellas. We say this every week. The Colts, they can simply just control the line of scrimmage versus any matchup they play, and that was no different yesterday, and that's why they won that game. Although I know Jerm got some Aaron Rodgers stuff he'd like to talk about a little later, maybe not tonight, maybe later this week. Cowboys versus Vikings. Yo, big win for Dallas. Dallas wins at 31-28. We'll see how they do moving forward. Chiefs versus Raiders. The Chiefs won 35-31. Hey, in the words of Thanos, you should have gone for the head. Germ, what's your thoughts from what we saw yesterday?
Go to let's go to our guest first.
Okay, Trav, kick it off.
Oh my. Um, Patrick Mahomes is real. If you ain't noticed, he's real. You can't have little Uzi Vert guarding Travis Kelce all night. You just can't do that. Again, like you said, Detroit, that's just unbelievable that they, out of all that passing they do with Matthew Stafford and all that, they come away with no points against FC. What's the FC Washington they were playing? Yeah. So
No. To Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Carolina. That
my
was I
bad.
said Washington. Yeah, Carolina. Yeah, you just and Carolina had a backup quarterback that done all that. Backup.
Hey,
XFL
from the
backup.
XFL. From the
Correct.
XFL.
From the XFL from Jim McMahon's league. I mean not Jim McMahon, but Vince McMahon league. Just amazing the football that was being played, especially that Baltimore, the amount of disrespect and then coming to take some on your field. That's just disrespect at the highest level.
Facts.
Disrespect at the highest level, man. But I mean, I enjoyed this week, but as you see, I got one on the left, I got one on the right. This is what we on for the night, man. Take it away, fellas.
Vic, what you see yesterday?
Well, I just literally got off of watching the Joe Burrow play yesterday on the film. That obviously to me is the most devastating part for me this weekend. With that, the way I think that kid and his potential and what he's going to bring to the NFL for hopefully the next 10, 15 years. It was hard to watch. Michael Jordan playing the left guard position, number 60 for the Bengals. It wasn't a good block. You got Jonathan Allen that kind of ran a slant into the B gap on him. He couldn't handle it. And instead of kind of just letting him go, he kind of fell with him. So they both landed on Joe's knee. And as you can see, it was to the point where, like, if you tear your ACL, you can at least move around. You're going to be grimacing in pain, but you're moving around on the ground and your leg is moving with you. His leg wasn't moving at all. And that's what's scary about it. So the reports are is ACL, PCL, MCL, and any other structural damage. So, hopefully it's not a career thing. I obviously try not to gripe about those things, let it bother you and stuff like that, So I think
Vic,
that
you sound a little emotional right now about it.
No, because the beef. I like the beef is my thing.
I get it.
The kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they got to do a better job, man. They have to do a better job protecting these quarterbacks. Quarterbacks running out of the pocket as well. It's a scary situation for me as well to see. I mean, we saw what happened to Dak. Unfortunately, you got a quarterback like Lamar that depends on that. We'll see, man. But it's a rough sport, and you gotta. This is what you gotta deal with, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Vic, not to cut you off, right? But I don't know what's going on with our connection tonight. I really have no idea. When you go to buy a car, before you can get it on the road, what you got to do?
Make sure it's all cleaned up. Make sure it's all ready to go. Tires are full.
Make sure you got insurance. That's the first thing you got to do is buy insurance. Do not draft a quarterback and throw him in the fire if you know you can't protect him. And Cincinnati simply failed to protect him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But go ahead, keep going, bro. Keep going.
No, other than that, y'all talked about it. Pat Mahomes did his thing. The Raiders put up a fight. It was an outstanding football game. At one point, it looked like it was going to be their game. And within a minute and 15 seconds, that was enough for Pat Mahomes to do his thing.
Indeed.
But, man, the Raiders, I love the Raiders, man. I think that's an outstanding football team.
Sure.
And they have a chance to go deep in this AFC conference. So, They might have another rematch. Who knows?
We'll see. Germ so true. What'd you see yesterday?
Well, as you see today, ladies and gentlemen, 100 episode, I am Mr. Inevitable. I just want y'all to know that everything today that I will display shall be inevitable. The first thing that inevitably that was displayed yesterday was that the quarterback play of certain superstar quote unquote quarterbacks was subpar. Example, Mr. Aaron Rodgers on the game winning drive, we had an opportunity to say game blouses. And what did we do? We stared down one receiver. Can't have that happen with a veteran quarterback, especially in a game where they didn't cover the tight end. They did not cover the tight end. And you know the first thing that people will say? Well, Aaron doesn't normally use his tight ends. Well, unfortunately, when there was no Devontae Adams, who did he have to use? He had to use anybody and everybody who was available to play the game of football. So what does that mean? So, Jerm, why is this inevitable? It's inevitable that you should use everybody on the field. It's inevitable that you don't need a superstar receiver in order to win a Super Bowl. Because why is this inevitable? Because the last guy we can argue that's top five receiver that won a Super Bowl was Marvin Harrison back in 2007. Last guy we can argue that was in his, whatever. Next inevitable thing is it is inevitable that the Baltimore Ravens are a solid football team. But what is also inevitable is they are not the same football team that they were 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. There is no way in hell that any team would have ever in their wildest imagination would have ever stood on their shield and flexed on them in any era of football. And the only person that went out there was John Harbaugh. So if you say that John Harbaugh is the one who stood up for that football team, it wasn't a player out there. I didn't see Lamar Jackson out there. I didn't see any of those other guys out there.
Soft.
Bro, get rid of all of them.
Soft.
Or they all can go. And you let Derrick Henry run away on you at the end of the game on a play that the more I look at it, it looks slow.
He juked on them, Germ.
Real quick, fellas. Real quick, fellas. If you go to watch the film, and you know how they added that new addition where you could click on like where the play was going.
Yes.
Has the lines in it. If you look at that play, it looks like an L. The route that he took to get to the end zone.
It certainly was.
It looks like an L. So served them an L to end the game there.
So
literally.
So with those things being said, that's the second thing. And the third thing that is inevitable this week is it is inevitable that we are the best sports coverage in the world. I just want y'all to know that at the end of the day, I see a lot of narratives get pushed, but the one thing that we push is we push film and we push proof. I don't think that I need to go any further than that when we talk about the things being inevitable. It's not very many people who can understand the games and break them down the way that we do here at Views, the way that we do it with 94, and with all of our conglomerate brands that we have next to us, Petty in the outfield, Stoppage Time FC, between the rounds, even when we go between the bars with me and Trav and Vic, it's not very many people who are going to be able to cover it the way we are able to cover it. So the most important part of this week is this football game. This football game, amongst all of the things that we see in this week, it is inevitable that the better team normally wins in most of these games. It's going to be inevitable, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But that's what I took away from this week: the inevitable.
I mean, listen. As far as the Aaron Rodgers thing about him not utilizing the tight ends, look, you utilize who's open. All right, that's football. As far as the Ravens are concerned, I think they got real problems, and it's going to continue to expose themselves. And one of the biggest problems they have is that their quarterback is not evolving fast enough. He's not progressing fast enough in any area, honestly. And as far as the scene with the 100th episode, look here, man, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tuned in. Make sure you got us on Twitter, on Instagram. I say this without any bias. Our crew, it has ruined mainstream sports talk for me. I turn on into any that 4-letter network. We are the new 4-letter network, by the way. That one that has some guys from the former network on there and a former Hall of Famer on there. I turn that on for 10 minutes and I already got a headache. The 4-letter one, I don't even tune into it at all. Radio is just a bunch of guys yelling at the top of their lungs with no adequate substance to show for it. Subscribe to the Scene, Chief. We slowly changing everyone's narratives, and we coming to you with the purest sports talk possible. And not a lot of people get to know what happens really behind the scenes. But if you come into these conversations we have, then you will understand the standard that we have set for ourselves. And that standard has been placed so high that some people who started with us from 3-4 years ago couldn't elevate themselves to that standards and had to be left behind. And that's just the way it is. This is the realest sports talk you will get. No narratives, no filters, no bias, just what happens between the white lines. Because at the end of the day, that's all that truly matters. Let's move on. Let's get to the comments real quick. We got some, the comments the last few weeks have been, probably the first time I'll ever say this, litty. All right. Shout out to Siobhan. Shout out to Siobhan, who always Siobhan has been the leadoff hitter in the comment section consistently for about 6 weeks now. So shout out to Styled Hairology. Shout out to Josh Storms, April, frequent guest of the show, Jay Ham, the Godfather. Shout out to Todd Love, Big Shot, our publicist and marketing director, Big Shot Ron. Who else is in there? Ash Jefferson, not Ash Jefferson, Ash Small is in there. Shout out to you, Ash, and your family. Trav is in the comment section doing double overtime.
In here.
Dennis King is in there, who is feeling painful today. Dennis, I just would like to tell you, sir, I'm here for you. All right.
I would love to see what's going on in his Ravens group right now.
Willie Whitfield is in there.
Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy Willie, man. AKA
yeah, that's Trav's boy.
That's my guy, man.
Yes,
shout out.
Yes. Shout out to Tanya, the first lady of views. Who else is in there? Todd Love, I already mentioned your name, sir. Artie is in there, who's also not having a very good day. And of course, Dion, I can't find the link to the Zoom read, is here in the comment section. Don't you forget, Dion, Thursday, before that butterball drops, before you start to mix the gravy, before you start to dive into that mac and cheese, we got some things we need to talk about, Chief.
Yes.
Don't you forget it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Send him the link right now.
Yeah. Might as well.
Just keep him in the waiting room from now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just leave the computer right there somewhere in your room, brother.
Hey, don't worry. We'll wait.
Yeah, absolutely. We're
Don't
gonna make sure
it is inevitable that it's inevitable that you're gonna be on this show.
Hey,
you gonna catch this smoke.
I just know this per source. All right, I got some leaked inside information from somebody that said that when Dion joins the Zoom, Tanya plans to say to him, "You couldn't deal with your failures. Look where it brought you back."
Oh Lord!
And look where it brought you back to me.
Yes.
Lord!
Snap. Get that the Infinity Gauntlet.
Better get your Iron Man suit.
All right, let's talk a little football, fellas. Let's talk a little.
Nah, he
football.
don't need an Iron Man suit. No.
Hey, Dion, the one thing I'm gonna say about Dion real quick is he knows it's all love. Ever since from the first day that dude joined the group, it's been like a family atmosphere, the energy with a lot of people. Dion, Tanya, April. I mean, the list goes on and on. Guys that have started joining our groups over the last 3 years. It's just been good energy from day one, Chief. And hey, men lie, women lie, energy don't. That's just the bottom line. Let's talk about these games.
Say numbers.
No. Well, in the words of Myron Jenkins, numbers don't lie. The people that use them do.
The people that use them do.
Hey,
yes.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Fellas,
That's
tonight's
true.
game is fresh. 47.5 points. Tampa, 4-point favorites. Let's get into the individual matchups that we could see tonight before we get into the predictions and whatnot for the game. Let's start it off on the perimeter, fellas, because the perimeter is going to have some styles, some clashes, some matchups. Really probably has two of the more charismatic players in our league, and Jalen Ramsey and then Antonio Brown. Now, we don't know if Jalen is going to be lining up with Antonio. We don't know if he's going to be lining up with Mike Evans. We don't know if he's going to split those snaps. So I'm curious to see how it's going to go. Vic, I'm going to start with you. From the Rams' perspective, would you rather have Ramsey on one side and whoever comes to him, or do you want him traveling with a certain somebody tonight?
I think just going off of what's been going on, I think that they'll have him travel with Chris Godwin. He might.
With Chris Godwin.
Yes, I think I'm just what I think might happen. I think he will travel with Chris Godwin, especially if they go with the 11 personnel. 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. It'll be Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. I think he'll go with Chris Godwin. I think the Rams will then just have a safety over the top when it comes to Mike Evans. You know, kind of the same thing that he sees every week. When Antonio Brown gets on the field, that's where it's going to be interesting. Depending on where he lines up and stuff like that, they might swap between, those 2 receivers in terms of Jalen. So I think, we're going to see a little bit of both. Antonio Brown might have a heck of a game, though. I think this is going to be the coming out party, quote unquote, as a Buck for him in this game, just simply because I don't think the Rams have anybody else with Ramsey's kind of coverage and stuff like that. And I think Ramsey is going to eliminate the guy, whoever he's on, for the most part.
I hear that. See, I think if anything, just my opinion, I believe it's going to be Troy Hill on Godwin consistently throughout the evening. And Troy Hill, I don't got the exact number in front of me, but I know that I don't think there's a corner who has played more snaps than him without giving up a touchdown over the course of the last 12 games. So shout out to him. He's been playing some good ball under the radar. Germ, same question to you, really, but I know you're going to take your own spin with it. What would you like to see tonight? Would you want to see Jalen on one side, or would you like to see him traveling with somebody?
To be honest with you, I think what you have to do with Jalen is I think you just put him on one side. Jalen can travel, but I wouldn't do that tonight. The player that you need to be moving around is going to be Aaron Donald. That's just really simple for me. Shout out to my guy Vic over there. Smoke stuff because the room was shaking while he was talking. I thought he was shaking the room real quick. But the truth of the matter is, man, Jalen don't travel. Stay on one side. Aaron Donald should travel all over that formation.
We're gonna get to that.
Side of the football. That's who should travel tonight.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to that.
Can I get my segue in?
Well, I gotta go to Trav real quick. Now, Trav. Now, this question is a little, it's one of those double-sided coins for you. Because on the one hand, you got FSU's finest, but on the other hand, you got your professional squad that you so dearly love.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you expecting to see from FSU's finest versus your favorite team?
Can Jalen hold up? Yes, we know he's the best in the league. He ain't get paid all that money just to be bull jiving and shucking and all that stuff. Of course, he can hold up. Me personally, I think he's gonna see a lot of. They're gonna do him like anybody else been doing the Bucks. They're gonna put him on. They're gonna put him on Evans. I think they're gonna put him on Evans.
Okay.
And the rest of them got to eat. But see, it's time for AB to touch their end zone, man.
Yeah.
It's really time for him to touch their end zone.
I think it's gonna be his coming out party for this.
I think it's gonna be that. And believe it or not, Ramsey like covering Grunt for some reason. We seen that at Jacksonville.
Yes.
We seen that a lot of times that he like covering bigs. That's why I think that he's gonna start off on Evans as usual. Can Brady get that time? That remains to be seen. That Tampa Bay patched up line. But at the same time, though, Jalen gonna hold up, man. Jalen gonna hold up.
Yeah. Well, I think just to kind of wrap it all up in terms of the passing attack for Tampa versus the Rams, I think Vic talked about that 12 personnel. I think that 12 personnel is going to be very key tonight because the Rams aren't a necessarily heavy defense. It's a defense built on speed, and I think they can take advantage by going heavier and having those linebackers be forced to cover Brait and Gronk. And as we've seen, unfortunately, since the OJ Howard injury, Cameron Brait has been being utilized more and more and more, and he's probably the fastest tight end they have on that team. As far as the corners are concerned, I agree with you, Trav. I think you got to put Ramsey on Evans, let him handle Evans one-on-one, let Troy work on Godwin, Troy Hill, that is, and you got to just double AB and just see how it goes. I mean, you don't want to get in there. I always felt like, well, if you have a matchup that seems overwhelming, just make it common sense and go with what you think makes the most sense and just stick with it. And that's, to me, is what makes the most sense. But now let's bring it inside, fellas, where the meat is, where the beef is, where the real substance lies as far as how is this game going to go. The characters are on the outside. The plot is on the inside. Germ, how do you think this Buccaneers offensive line is going to handle the one they call 99?
You have to double them. You have to hit them. You're going to have to do everything. I mean, if it's a quick set, I mean, the one thing you don't worry about with Aaron Donald is him getting his hands in the passing lane. So that's something interesting that I think Brady can expose in this game. Will be when he's on that side. See if you can figure out if there's going to be a hot route to that side of the field, and see if you can, pretty much 1, 2, 3, quick hit. 1, 2, 3, quick hit. I think that's how you neutralize the 99 effect. The other thing that you do with the offensive line is we have this game. It seems like this is the one game that I do not worry about Aaron Donald at all. I'm going to tell you why. Because this offensive line, now I just got one question. Is my guy Ali Marpet playing?
No, that's what I was going to get at. If he's not playing.
If Ali's not playing, having Jensen over at the left guard spot, and with him being able to help, Marpet and Jensen do an exceptional job of helping. I don't know what it is about those two dudes. They do what we call in football, they look for work. So if there's a shortage of work, they're gonna go and find some. I like those two players in that aspect. This is the one game where I feel like the Bucs interior have a chance to block him occasionally one-on-one because of who the quarterback is. It is strictly because of the quarterback. It's not because of talent. It's the quarterback. So that's what I'm gonna say there, and I'm gonna segue that in to Vic because I already know where Vic is gonna go with this.
Bro, listen, there's two injuries that is going to be big for this game, to me, in my opinion. You got Ali Marpet for the Bucs, and you got Andrew Whitworth for the Rams, who is also not available. So you got both situations here. Remember when I was a little down about Joe Burrow about 10 minutes ago? I'm scared right now, okay? Because Ali Marpet not playing, there's two problems with that, Trav, all right? You as a Bucs fan. That's 3 straight weeks with a concussion. That's not good. If you're missing 3 weeks, something is wrong there. 2, now you got Tom Brady, who is a pocket passer, the statue, as some people like to call him, or his haters like to call him, in the pocket there. So then you got 99, and those guys have to deal with it. Listen, I think that the Bucs need to go with a 12 and 13 personnel heavy game today. That is going to take a couple receivers off the field, though. So it's going to be tough, I think, but they have to run the ball. I think I need to see more Leonard Fournette. Ronald Jones has been playing well when it comes to running the football, but I need 12 and I need 13 personnel packages to make sure we see what the protection is going to look like around Brady. Then let's bring out Antonio Brown. Let's bring out Chris Godwin and those guys.
No, absolutely. I mean, again, simplify it and just go heavy. And it should favor you. If anything, you tire them out and you take advantage of some of those soft spots in the middle of the field with those linebackers. Trav, anything you want to add to this conversation in terms of the beef?
Man, we just gotta on the Bucs side, we just gotta protect that left side. Whatever it is, help Smith. Help Donovan Smith.
Yeah.
Help him. If he's beat, help him. I don't care what it is, help him.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. If we can help him and give Brady that time, he can carve him apart.
Mm-hmm.
He could carve him apart. But I got a funny feeling we finna talk about some stuff in just a second, though. When we swing this over to what the Rams got to do and what Bowles gonna do next.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm on.
Let's dive right into that. Let's dive right into that because we still got some things we got to cover within about 7 minutes, but we got time.
Yes, sir.
This defense for the Bucks, they love to pressure. This offense for the Rams, they love that play action. Damn the love. They need that play action. There is nobody that relies on play action more than Jared Goff. Nobody. So it's got a bit of a recipe here for disaster for the Rams offense. Fellas, I'll just leave it open to the floor. Whoever wants to jump in here first, what are some things that they can do to sort of neutralize that pressure or maybe even make Todd Bowles think twice about sending so much pressure?
Can I start?
Yeah, man.
Nothing.
Ooh.
There is nothing they can do. Too much speed on the field. Again, what does Jared Goff struggle against? Speed. So you put Devin White or Levante David in a situation where they're going to go rush him. And you see that torpedo coming at him. Those eyes are going to get this big. And guess what's going to happen? We're going to get that float. Float on. And then, look, I'm posing for y'all just so y'all can see it. But that's all that you need to know.
Vic?
Look, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle, is out. If the Rams had another weakness on the offensive line, it is at left guard as well. So you got a situation where both left sides of these offensive lines can struggle today. Aaron Donald will line up over Donovan Smith, so look out for that. And you got JPP and Shaquille Barrett, who will line up over whoever the left tackle is. Then they do an outstanding job scheming some blitzes in between the B gaps and C gaps. So, in terms of the Bucks and their linebackers, so we might have a little sack fest this week, tonight. Hopefully we don't. If there's some protection, then we got ourselves a good aerial attack today. So I'm just praying for good health. That's all.
I hear you.
Praying for good health.
You want to add to this conversation about the Bucks defense?
I'm gonna tell you like this: the Bucks defense played well against the Raiders with the same type of scheme. They stopped the run. They stopped Jacobs. That held them 17 yards or something like that.
Something crazy, yeah.
And they rushed they gamed and stunt the left side of their offense. Look for that. Look for that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Look for that. You're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see Winfield and Whitfield coming over there. You probably will see Levante Davis stunting on their side with JPP over there. You're gonna see a lot of that coming from the left side of the offensive line. So once you stop the run, you got on one dimension, you cover, you pick, you scope.
Real quick, Dion, I don't know if Dion's question is for fantasy
Yeah,
purposes.
I'm gonna get to it. I got you. I got the comments.
I'm just saying, I don't know if he gotta get to it right now.
No. I got it.
I'm saying before the game starts, bro.
Bro, I'm
just saying.
I got it.
All right, go ahead. Hey, my bad,
Okay,
Dion.
right.
If the game starts, my bad. Go ahead.
Hey, no. So real quick, the other reason why I'm saying nobody, just so we can put this in libistic terms, in the actual West Coast offense that the Rams run, when you see the pulling guard or the tight end coming across the formation, what happens is we get a rush player or a player that we call a force player. That particular player in that situation is going to probably be Levante Davis, Shaq Barrett, or even JPP or Devin White. It could be any one of those players. All of those players have a unique ability to close on the quarterback. Once you see that play, I'm hitting Jared Goff regardless. I don't care. I'm hitting him regardless.
Yep.
I'm hitting them regardless.
Yeah.
And that's what, if they do that all night, bro, it's a long night for that guy, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I call him Sam Bradford with a step to the left or a step to the right in the pocket. That's what I call him. Mohead, go ahead, man. I said
Hey.
Mohead. Go ahead.
That's a bar. Shout
Yes.
out Al Snow.
Yep.
Listen, let's read to the comments real quick before we move on to predictions and whatnot. Already said that we look like a bunch of coaches with these headsets. Todd Love agreed. Todd Love said that Trav and Germ look like the bald-headed Lovie Smith. Leave that alone. Already said that Vic got the rookie coach swag with the hoodie. And then he said that I look like one of the defensive genius head coaches. And I'm going to tell you something already. That is one of the most accurate statements you've made in all of 2020. I am a defensive guy through and through, all the way. Hey, shout out to the Dish, our Petty in the outfield crew, our baseball crew, Ty Love, Artie, Jorge, Josh Storms, all in the comment section. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you subscribe because we got you covered. Baseball, football, basketball, fighting, you name it. We cover it all here at the scene. Let's move on to those predictions. Just to touch in on everything that you guys have been talking about. I think for the Buccaneers defense, that run defense that's been so strong and so stout, it's starting to crack little by little, week after week. And a big part of that, obviously, is Vita Vea is no longer there. And tonight, the success of the Rams' run game is going to be the biggest contributor to whether the Rams win or lose this football game. Because if they can't run the ball, that means Goff got to throw more. And if Goff got to throw more, that means Bowles is going to blitz more. And if Bowles is going to blitz more, that means it's going to speed up the clock of Goff. And if you speed up the clock of Goff, he's going to turn the ball over. What is it, Germ? It's inevitable, baby. I think the Buccaneers finally need to get a win on primetime. All right. Vic talked about it. Go heavy, flex your beef, use your tight ends, and then go to the matchups when they are there. And as Germ talked about, neutralize Aaron Donald with those quick passes. I'm going with the Buccaneers to win this game. They've been scoring over 30 points consistently, whether they look good or not, outside of that Sunday night football game. I'm going to go with Tampa 35-31, Tampa. Germ?
35-17, Tampa.
Wow. I hope so. Vic?
Yeah, I was thinking along the lines is like 33-17 as well. Bucks. I just think that despite the fact that they have to cover Aaron Donald in that situation, I think they do go with what I feel they should go. I think they're smart enough. I think they can make those adjustments. The Rams, on the other hand, like you said, they depend on play action, which means that those running backs and that running game has to do well. I think that's a lot up for them to overcome. So I'm picking the Bucks, and I think they can win convincingly in this game. And I would go with the Bucks running backs, either Ronald Jones. I think both can have a good game this week, depending on how much personnel they throw in there.
Trav, what's your prediction, sir?
Hey man, this is giving me a lot of feel like how it was like 2003, 2004 when Marshall Faulk and all of them was there, and they was going against Brad Johnson and all of them. It's giving me that feel.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go 34-23, man. I'm going 34-23.
Tampa.
Tampa.
I got you. Shout out to the comment section one more time. Dion's question was, which running back will have the bigger game tonight? Artie answered it. He said probably Lamar Jackson. Shout out to Artie. Artie, when your trolling is at an A game, you are superb. You just got to start hitting those A game trolls.
Listen,
a little more.
I had some Aaron Rodgers slander that I was gonna keep to myself, or I'll keep it to myself. Maybe I'll drop a little film on it.
We got some more stuff coming. We got more shows coming. We got more shows coming.
I'm trying to be nice and answer Dion's question. You know what I mean? They're gonna get petty on the guy.
Hey, shout out to April. who says she doesn't want to say it, but she is growing as a football person. That's what the views from the 22 lab will do to you. And she is picking the Buccaneers by 10. She also says, congrats on the 100th show. Y'all are truly the best. And if y'all were in San Antonio, I'd feed you on Thanksgiving. We appreciate you, April. We appreciate you. We love you. We love all of you. Fellas, my brothers, Big Shot, MJ, Ham, Artie, Storms, Jorge, Ty Love, Joe Maver, Zach Westrick, everybody at the scene. We appreciate y'all. 100 down, infinity to go, baby.
Yeah, to infinity and beyond.
I was doing the infinity thing because of Thanos, Jern. Not because of
Well,
Buzz Lightyear. We're gonna buzz off y'all screen.
Hey,
and we'll see
but
y'all
look.
in about a couple light years. Good.
2-2.
Yes,
We
sir,
out.
baby. Yes, sir, baby. Enjoy the game, y'all.